Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you very much for joining. My name is Louise Lenz, and on behalf of FLEXIPASS, I'd like to welcome you to our FLEXIPASS Live Talk today. We have established this form of communication to help you as accommodation providers and guest service providers to run with FLEXIPASS. That being said, it's about getting to know how you can make the best out of connecting multiple guest service applications to improve guest satisfaction while simultaneously streamlining operations. It's my absolute pleasure to introduce you to our guest today. We're joined by Ryan. He's the COO of AKIA, as well as Felton, who is the general manager of the hotel CASA del CAMINO, who is the Excellent Award winner of FLEXIPASS for 2021. And lastly, we're joined by our very own FLEXIPASS CEO, Patrick Lomsdale. Perfect. All right, then shall we get right into it? May I all ask you to just quickly introduce yourself? Maybe Ryan, you want to start and tell us a bit about your company as well and what makes you special.
Sure. So, hey, everyone, my name is Ryan. I lead operations here at AKIA, and that includes a number of things since we're a fairly small startup here in San Francisco. But that's anything from looking after our customers to working with our partners, such as Patrick, on building out these amazing integrations for our customers. And AKIA, we are a business messaging platform that doesn't only drive amazing guest experiences for hoteliers, but we're also aiming to really solve operational challenges that come up for guest arrival through text messaging and automation. And we do that through contactless check-in, capturing e-signatures, and even issuing digital keys for room access.
Awesome, I love it. Well, Felton, would you be so kind and say a few words to yourself as well?
Wonderful. Yes, my name is Felton Calhoun. I am the general manager for La Casa del Camino down here in Laguna Beach. It's a small European boutique style hotel. It's kind of like the staple down there because they're from the 1920s, so everybody knows that specific hotel. Our rooftop lounge is pretty much one of the top iconic areas down there. Beautiful back view of the whole Catalina Island, just the beach in general. We just have a new restaurant downstairs called Comedor, Spanish style. So everything is very, very nice and very nice, cute and quaint. Like I have a lot of projects that I want to do to go ahead and kind of remodel it. I'm also part of the hotel management company that's called Experience Hospitality. So we're just partnered with 888 Hospitality and just redoing hotels, taking care of them, bringing out their potential, and pretty much in general just kind of being like the local mayor in the area.
Awesome. And jumping over to you, Patrick, just a couple of words, please.
Thank you. Yes, my name is Patrick. I'm the CEO and founder of FLEXIPASS. We're experts and we deliver intelligent digital key experiences for the accommodation, for PMS and the guest communications providers.
Perfect. Well, Felton, you're working with AKIA and with FLEXIPASS. So what were the main challenges you were facing before working with both of our companies?
I want to say the main thing was ease of access. Nowadays, everyone likes to have something that's very quick, very responsive. The less you have to read or know how to kind of get a system going, the better. We used to use Opera before, and it was a great system, but for something of our caliber, which is a much smaller hotel, we don't need something as large. I need something that's going to be a little bit more, guest focused, more company focused. And between AKIA and Flexi, because they have a wide range, but they also know what it means to work with like a smaller group. The level of attention that we got from them was like actually far beyond what I thought I was going to get initially.
So how does the situation compare now to how it was before for you and for your entire team as well?
Oh, it makes doing mobile keys so much easier because when like 98% of the people have smartphones, and then the amount of people that like to lose their hotel keys is never going to stop. And most people don't really lose their cell phones, so that makes that a lot easier. And then having AKIA, because everyone likes to text message and things that these days instead of picking up a phone to call, and that also makes it easy. So you have everything in one little small unit that you can just kind of go ahead and do. So it's easier to communicate with like 10 to 12 guests at a time. And then instead of having, the guests call down to the front desk, and you can only put maybe like 3 or 4 calls on hold, whereas I can communicate with like 12 to 30 people at one time. It's much easier. Guests love it.
Wow, really interesting. Maybe one step back. Initially, you started up with FLEXIPASS. How easy was it to kick off with FLEXIPASS prior to AKIA? Because I believe AKIA came in on a second moment, right?
Yeah, so when we had FLEXIPASS first, it was the same. I mean, going in and doing the guest registration through the system was pretty simple. Just sending over the keys. It was I want to say not the login, the steps didn't take too long, because even we could kind of get ahead of that because you already had all the guest information in the system anyway. So as like the desk agents, whoever's there is going through the day, can easily just take what's ever in the system, just load it into FLEXIPASS, and then you're just good to go.
Great. And now with AKIA, it's automated. You already have all of the guest arrival data in the system in one ecosystem, right?
Yes. Yeah. Having everything in the one platform, just like it's like a one-stop shop. You load up that, you have FLEXIPASS, and you have AKIA, everything on like one screen. It's amazing.
Wow. Maybe jumping over to you, Ryan, digital keys. I think we were amongst the first in touch with you speaking about digital keys. How easy was it to implement FLEXIPASS in your ecosystem?
It was super easy with FLEXIPASS, since you guys have a pretty fleshed out and sort of API system in place already that we can work with. We're able to automatically sort of build that into our system and allow hoteliers like Felton here to easily issue digital keys right within our platform as they're chatting with the guests. Oftentimes guests will have questions or whatever, right, as they're arriving on property or getting to the front desk. And being able to communicate with them and then issue the key right there and there, right to the guests over text messaging is going to be pretty amazing, right? The communication is all consolidated within one place. The guest has access to that key code right within their phone already, and then they can easily, kind of input that key code right within FLEXIPASS.
Yeah, great. And I believe AKIA can also go through different steps like you do. Let's maybe go through the guest experience prior to arrival. How does that work, Felton and Ryan? Like, do you send out an email, a WhatsApp, a text message to the guest coming prior to the hotel, informing him about his stay tomorrow or next week? How does that currently look?
So what it does is it sends like a welcome text message. And then from that welcome text message, it kind of sets up like a registration, kind of like a registration form that me and Ryan kind of put together, kind of tweaked a little bit. And then basic information tells you like, some of the hotel policies, whether or not, you want to go ahead and upload your ID so we can kind of do like a pre-check-in process in a way. And then after that, it kind of brings you to like a little home screen with like all the hotel basic informations, both the restaurant reservation thing. So like the necessities, it keeps it short and sweet. And then, you know, from there, the guest is able to kind of send us messages letting us know, you know, what time they might come back. You know, we can respond back to it. If AKIA can answer the question, they will do it for us. And if we can't, then it'll send us an alert saying you have a guest message to, you know, to answer. So it's really simplistic.
Great, great. And do you just looking at digital keys, do you inform guests already pre-arrival, ahead of arrival, that they can be ready to get the digital key, or you do that on the day of arrival only?
No, it does it. Everything's day of. It doesn't do it like a day or two before. Everything's day of, just to avoid like any type of like, you know, reservation discrepancies or something. But yeah, you know, it sends everything day of. If you have somebody that just made a new reservation for that day, you do have to like manually input them in. But again, everything's on the screen, so it takes a couple seconds.
And just to
and on the one end, sorry, Ryan, sorry.
Go ahead.
And I was just going to add on, very often what you might also experience is that guests tend to have the highest concentration span on the day of arrival, right? They know like, okay, I'm staying now at La Casa del Camino today or tomorrow at Max. And the focus is then on that information. That's when you can capture the guest with the experience.
What do you need to master digital keys successfully? There are a couple of important steps to follow. It starts with selecting a future-proof compatible door lock and access control provider as ASA Abloy Global Solutions, Dormakaba, or Salto Systems.
Great. And just throwing in here, Ryan, in your system, would it be possible theoretically to automatically push out a message to the guests a day before, just to say for super fast access?
Yeah,
use this link to download the app just to be ready. Would that be easy?
Our platform, you know, supports many sort of levels of automations that, you know, hoteliers can kind of program into the platform if they want to send out communication prior to arrival, whether it's, you know, day of, day before, several days before, or even upon booking. That's totally possible. And you know, I think Felton mentioned this before too, with you know, text messaging. Everyone loves to use their phone now. Oftentimes, if you're sending out information, you know, prior to their arrival via email, you know, things might get lost. People get hundreds and hundreds of emails a day. They don't take a look at that arrival information. They don't take a look at what they're supposed to do before they arrive, or this is your key code in an email. So just kind of moving everything over to text messaging and communicating with them prior to arrival is a game changer, right?
Cool, very interesting. I know we're short on time, etc. I'll throw in the question, which maybe Luisa wanted to throw in. Felton, would you recommend FLEXIPASS plus AKIA? And if yes, why? And the same question thereafter goes to Ryan as well. Would you recommend FLEXIPASS with AKIA?
Yeah, so I would definitely recommend using both platforms. It's probably the best addition that I probably added to the hotel. Like Ryan was saying, a lot of people receive things, so many different things in the emails. I've even had guests that kind of forgot that they had done reservations, and when they get that text message, you know, it like sparks that oh yeah, I'm supposed to go on a trip today. But aside from like the ease of access, having all that in there, the one feature I am going to say that I also really love in there is the broadcast. Instead of having to like waste paper and put flyers in the guest rooms, if you're doing something like, oh, you know, we're working like a water thing here, you can literally just send like one mass message to everyone. It's not like a group chat where everyone sees it, but you send one main message to everybody in the hotel at the exact same time. And that I actually love. It saves so much paper.
And I'll jump in. Have you saved time? Has your staff been able to focus on different needs implementing these technologies?
Oh yeah, yeah. Like the phone calls to the desk have actually gone down. Now the only calls we can technically get are for like restaurant reservations if it's just an outside person calling. but most of the calls or anything in-house guests, it's all text, or they'll come down and they'll be like, I love this thing or something. But like it's helped so much.
Thank you. Well, I don't know what to answer, Ryan. I think you.
Yeah, maybe I can speak more on like the technical side of things, right? In terms of recommending AKIA and FLEXIPASS, and the answer is absolutely yes. I think, you know, within the hospitality space, the software stack is heavily fragmented, right? As a hotelier, you might be using, you know, 6 different software systems at the same time, and it's a pain in the butt really for the staff to, you know, use all of these systems at the same time. They don't work well together and so on. So the fact that AKIA and FLEXIPASS are tightly integrated and work so well together, and, you know, they all kind of sit together within one place, it makes it so much easier for the staff to use. And that's what, you know, hoteliers should be looking for when they're looking at software, right? Is software systems that do work well together, that will really, you know, ultimately save them time.
Thank you very much for joining today. We're now coming to an end of our FLEXIPASS live talk. We did receive a lot of questions in the chat box and will contact you shortly after our event today. I would like to thank the panelists and mention that the replay of this event will be available next week on our website. Today's participants will also get a link via email as soon as possible. Please stay tuned for our next FLEXIPASS live talk, which will be held on the 23rd of March. To receive the latest news, you may simply follow our company pages on socials. I look forward to having you join us again. Recommend us to others, and please stay healthy. See you online.